seen something like me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Walking with Walfinch. And today I'm very pleased to announce I've got a friend of mine, Kimbley Douglas, on the show. So Kimbley, tell us what you do and where you work and what do you do?
Yes, so I am on the franchisor side at Sticky Fingers Cooking. I've been the COO the past 5 years. Was on the team 9 years prior as the area director, and actually was a chef instructor myself teaching our cooking classes.
Wow!
So I've been in all the roles.
So you started a franchisee and then became the COO of the whole thing.
Correct. Yes, and I'm a franchisee as well. So all the hats.
That's great. So how do you cope with that?
I just live and breathe the mission of the company, and so it feels easy to get out of bed and start work every day, which is kind of amazing.
I mean, that's very cool.
I'll take it.
So for those that don't know what Sticky Fingers Cooking is, what do you guys do?
We are a children's cooking school. We're a mobile school that teaches kids how to cook ages 3 to 18, but we go to them. So we teach in schools and rec centers, YMCAs, Boys and Girls Clubs, anywhere you can find kids.
I love that. That's very interesting. And actually, what a great thing to do, right? So how did you become a franchisee in the first place? Like, was this something that you were interested in? Did it just kind of fall out of the sky? Like, what happened?
Well, I love the brand and have been, on board for so long. And I think it was the end of 2022, we received our first FDD.
Right,
and so 2023 was super focused on transferring 3 of our headquarter units to our directors, and they became our first franchisees. And
that's a smart way of doing it.
Yes. So we instantly had franchisees that knew the brand inside and out.
Nice.
And the second that we had started having conversations about franchising, I immediately was interested in becoming an owner one day. But the timing and the where of it was a little bit up in the air.
Where are you based?
Orange County, California. But
Nice.
I live in Denver, which is where we're headquartered.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And how far is that?
About an hour and a half flight.
Okay.
But it's where I grew up. I know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Still have family, friends there.
Nice.
So it felt like a good place to go.
I just thought that was something that I watched on TV growing up. I didn't think it was a real place.
It exists in real life, too.
Wow. It's like Disneyland.
Only parts of it are like the show.
Well, no comments, no judgment here, right?
There is some.
So your business is an hour and a half's flight away.
Yes.
You also have a full-time job.
Yes.
And in and amongst everything else that you do in life. So how do you literally, on a day-to-day basis, how do you know where to spend your time? How involved are you in the business? What I'm really getting at here is I think one of the things that a lot of business owners struggle with, and I've struggled with for years as well, is that kind of balance of life. I hate the work-life balance kind of comment because actually I think if you're a business owner, often there isn't any, but it's an integration.
Right.
But actually there's a system that needs to be associated with that.
Absolutely.
So what is your system for that?
Currently it's absolute chaos until I finish my MBA program. But, this is the balance.
Nice.
But ultimately, I feel like my franchise ownership is just directly parallel to the work that I do at headquarters. The things I do in my franchise benefit the franchisor and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of this symbiotic relationship between the two. But the major balance I have is parenting.
Yeah.
And then bringing that into the picture, along with being in school, along with working full-time and running a franchise. So this year is...
Yeah. And are you quite active on that front as well, on with the, the family front?
Absolutely.
And so how do you divide up your time? So one of the things I've literally kind of morphed back into trying to squeeze my work time into business hours, actually, which I think that was my first kind of thing where I found that all of my work just spilled out everywhere. It was like weekends at 3 o'clock in the night and, middle of the day on a whatever. But then I try to consolidate that as much as I could. And then if I do have things happening late, it'll be, I know the kids are going to go to bed at 7:30 and I can put it in after that, whatever it is. And so it was, for me, I thought, that's a really interesting thing because actually that helped me structure my life differently.
Oh, yes.
But I wonder how that's kind of impacted you.
For the majority of my life, I sucked at routines and refused to have one. And then the second I had my son, I realized the beauty in it.
Yeah.
And so I've really leaned into it. But yeah, it's wake up at 5:30, do my workout, get my kid ready for school, spend some time together in the morning. I don't immediately turn on the laptop.
Yeah.
I wait till he is out the door.
Yeah.
And then it's really compartmentalizing throughout the rest of the day. So being extremely focused on headquarter work during those primary hours. I keep all my franchise ownership role to a minimum unless a meeting has to happen during the day.
Yeah.
But that'll be more in those off hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then school is overtaking my weekends currently, but that's 8 more weeks
Yeah.
till freedom.
Nice. 8
So
more weeks. Wow.
I'm going to have 15 to 30 hours more a week just magically appear.
Yeah, nice.
What am I going to do
What
with
are
myself?
you going to do with them? Maybe start another franchise.
Oh my gosh, you never know.
So you've got then this compartmentalizing of the franchisor work, your own business. How often do you go down to the OC to look at the business and eyeball the situation?
Yeah, the plan is quarterly. I do have a business partner. She's our chief of staff.
Right.
And so we really kind of bounce off each other
So
and have like
she's
a pretty clear divide
there?
as to who's what. She's also in Denver.
Okay.
But we have ultimately, with the 2 territories that we own, we just need 2 admin to run it. And then once built up, we'll have about 55 part-time chef instructors that are teaching all the classes.
Yeah.
But again, not having a location, it makes it much easier to manage from afar.
That's very true. I mean, so I find that with home care in the same breath, because it's kind of that agency model. Essentially, you just need to kind of have the systems flowing in that place.
Oh, yes.
So if you were advising a franchisee on how to go multi-unit or how to grow that one location, what would you say to them? Like, what would be your top 3 pieces of advice to grow and scale?
This is my favorite FranDev part of the business, is having current franchise owners take on an additional unit, an additional territory, especially when they're right next door to each other, because they can co-operate it seamlessly. They don't need another storage unit. They don't even have to buy more supplies. They simply start hiring more staff to go teach, since we're entirely service-based. And so for me, that's like a huge compliment to the brand if somebody wants to take on an additional unit. But yeah, ultimately we've had that happen with 3 of our franchise owners so far, and we've got a couple more in the funnel that are interested in owning more.
Nice.
But, yeah.
And so what kind of headline piece of advice would you give them? Say, well, this is where you need to be spending your time and effort, because actually you could wear all 10 hats, but actually what we need is for you to wear 3 of them.
That is a checklist that we go through with them, that they need to go through to make sure that they're up to par operationally, they're achieving all their KPIs. We understand what the new territory growth will look like. But yeah, it's kind of a, systems wise, we have it pretty well defined as to what needs to happen before they can take that on.
No, fantastic. And thank you so much for joining and contributing today. And, one of the last things I wanted to ask you was, what does it look like for you in 3 years' time?
Oh, goodness. This is a fun, adventurous question. My goal is to live abroad at some point, but still be able to do what I'm doing today. So just adding on another layer of life. But I think
come to London.
I should.
Yeah,
I love the UK.
Yeah.
I think for me, though, it making sure that headquarters is so well squared away.
Yeah.
We've developed a lot of systems and processes in place, and just making sure that we're continually integrating new technology, putting AI where it can best be utilized, but then also making sure that those relationships with our franchise owners are really intact.
Yeah.
That's the number 1 priority for me.
Nice. Thank you so much. A real pleasure. I hope you enjoyed tuning in as much as I enjoyed filming that. Thank you very much.